I don't know. Huh? I didn't press any buttons that made it go off. It's weird. Alright, against Thrall. Yeah, we'll try this. Chat wants packs. I actually have one pack. I have one pack from the Brawlers that I haven't opened yet. Oh, Spirit Claws. You were kind of busted. I wonder if my opponent thinks I'm Freeze Mage now. I miss Duplicate so much. Oh my god. I'm so dead.
You are not the boss of me.
Ooh. It's kind of good. Hey, Max Burn Chat, we just paid for your welcome pack. Go buy it. No, over the huddle pass is yearning to breathe new cards. No. I may just have to do that. So what's the... I think I just play this here. Just to soak up damage. Then I coin out Chill Maw next turn. Sure. Well, I'm just gonna die to this plus any damage next turn. Flame Strike, not even good. Literally any damage kills me, so. Okay. That didn't work out. All right. I'll go check out. Oops. I'll go check out the welcome thing, whatever. Since people want to see it. There we go. Shop. Welcome bundle. All right. Boom. $5. Japanese in advance on his mod salary. Best value, but not best, best time value here. What's going on? I really miss Duplicate. It was so fun. Unfortunately, I don't know that there's any real way to get Dragon Mage to work. Maybe we need to build it. I don't know. Lower to the ground. Like I want to play Medivh's Valet, but like there aren't really good secrets. Effigy I think isn't good enough when you don't have Mad Scientist. All right, we were waiting a long time for authorization. All right, let's try restarting my Hearthstone.
The inn is oozing with cheer today.
Let's try this again. Okay. And all right, there we go. What'd I get? Oh, I got an Edwin. Okay, cool. That's kind of neat. Now we have 11 packs to open. Let's do it. Ooh, let's get Mom in. I was about to wait, a second hand Cleef. We just got that in our welcome bundle. Doubled up. What are the odds? About 50-50. Wait, there's another pack somehow. It's in this one. Golden corn. Alright. Sweet, I guess. 2 Edwins. What if this, how can I make this work? This may actually just need to be a Reno deck. Reno Dragon Mage. Let's try that. It's actually not far from being a Reno deck already. I don't know Gold Arcane Blast or Gold Forgotten Torch. Blizzard is clearly giving me a sign to play Edwin Van Cleef deck. I don't really like Edwin. I don't really like those sort of decks. They're not my favorite. Can just play a Deathwing. Chrome Dog. Chrome Dog is actually not bad when you have... We'll play Chrome Dog. We need a Doomsayer. What else do I need? Do I like Emperor in my deck? I probably want Emperor in my deck. Alright, let's try this deck. Probably wants like a Loot Hoarder. Alright, mulling at all of this. Mighty.
Did you bring some
Hey, Sironak. Sironak, thank you very much for the sub. Welcome. Welcome to Dragon Army. Oh, look at this. A busted totemic. Buskar totemic. Yeah, alright. I'll take it.
wanted? My audience.
Have I considered Medivh's Valet? I have Medivh's Valet in my deck. So yes.
The light protects me.
That's sort of annoying because it means that I have to play the Flame Strike. Well, I don't have to, but otherwise this gets healed up. Hmm.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
Excuse me, you are on fire. Oh man, I have Chromagus Coin AI. The long game power.
I wonder.
Oh, Chromagus into AI with Emperor in play. He's already used one Hex. And he's Frost Novid. There's a second Hex. Jabu, I bought more bits. I hope you're happy. This pleases me. Mwahaha. Oh, so many historians.
Once upon a time.
That was fairly sweet.
There is a lot at stake.
Oh god, lots of stakes. I basically need to find my Flame Strike. The Flame Strike I got so far was discovered, so... Okay, I'm dead. I was hoping to get Deathwing since he's already used 2 hexes. Flame Strike, Alexstrasza. I can Flame Lance this and play this and ping this. It's actually not bad. I'm not like 100% dead. I also have Ice Block up with Alex. I still have Reno in my deck too. Yeah, this is actually still very much winnable. It's not going to be easy, but it's winnable. Flame Strike. Polymorph. I could try Nether Spite into like a Chill Maw. We shouldn't have a healing totem. I could actually just ping this. Let's get a Chill Maw. That's not a Chill Maw. None of these are good. So we still have Reno and Flame Strike that are both very good to draw, obviously. We're always going to be dead now, though. Why not kill the 7/2? Because if I Chill Maw, this dies, and the 7/2 just gonna killing the 7/2 just moves this next to it, so this becomes a 6/3, so it doesn't matter. We're dead. We got a donation from Danny Boy. Said, "Love your stream. Why do you think combo decks are so bad when ladder experience gives incentives to aggro decks because they're cheap, easy to make, and be over in 5 minutes equals more gold per minute?" I don't think combo decks are bad. I think that like decks that generate generally non-interactive play patterns, which include most combo decks, are frustrating to play against. Frankly, the existence of a lot of combo decks, like Freeze Mage or Miracle Rogue or whatever, also helps to invalidate lots of control strategies. Like, control strategies are, generally speaking, well suited to beating aggressive decks if you tune them to do so, but then are boxed out by their inability to actually beat the combo decks that essentially require you to be able to put them on like a significant clock, or else you basically can't win. And Freeze Mage basically makes something like Control Priest. In itself, it's like, okay, well, you can just never beat a Freeze Mage. You can never beat Miracle Rogue. You can never beat Worgen Combo. It's like, so even if your Control Priest deck is good against aggro, like, you lose every other matchup because there's all these control decks that force you to interact with them in an aggressive fashion. So they create even more incentive to play these aggressive decks. Jabu said, cheer 0-5 versus 2-2. Jabu's acid deck best deck of the past 24 hours. I didn't go 0-5. I won a game with something. Actually, I won a game earlier. I went 0-3. I was only up here. But I'm also just playing, building decks and playing them immediately. I think that probably it's not actually worth playing the Dragon Shell in Mage at all, but I want to experiment. Yes, of course, Control Warrior is great against Freeze Mage. Yes, that's true. But, like, it's only Control Warrior because of armor. Any other controlling deck, like, if by control decks you mean Control Warrior, then control decks are fine, because Control Warrior is a very good deck. But Warrior is just like a class that has all the best cards, so of course it's a good deck. Ooh, turn one book. Spellbender, that's kind of interesting. Need more dragons. Five mana? Nourish. Alright. A lot of mana. Steve said, sent you Curator Reno Rogue on Twitter. Maybe try a similar list. I don't think I saw it, but perhaps I could try it. Oh, this deck should have Curator. Actually, there's no good beasts other than I'm just going back to my Reno Mage decks. Oh, another Innervate. Okay. Not bad. I actually want Spellbender more than I want any of these. I'm just going to attack this, then I can also just Fireball this and ping it now. But if I Fireball that and ping it now, and he has Moonglade Portal, so I definitely need to play Spellbender. And then I want to attack into this. And I don't want to attack into this right now. But if he Feral Rages, then I can't kill it with... Yeah, no, we're going to just attack into this now. And then you can Flame Lance it next turn. So if he Moonglade Portals it, I at least redirect the Moonglade Portal so he can't heal it. So I'm just going to kill it with Flame Lance. This priest's going to be tier 1 with the new portrait. I think that's how it'll work. Alright, another gigantic guy.
You wanted.
You just play giant guy, giant guy. I think I want Mirror Entity though. You can still have 8/8s. Or like Malagos or something. Ah, you gotta do something to it again. Or you're nourishing. Okay. You've already used 2 innervates, so... Okay. He just discovered a spell. It's like, you would think he'd be afraid of a polymorph. Okay. No fear.
I'll get him.
Okay, play Malagos. But don't have, like, you know, a bunch of things to kill me with. Boo. I missed your cheer. It's just you wait, killer. One day I get legend who will laugh at my jokes and get a fancy new card. Life will be better in legend. It will be. That's what you're supposed to play first. Curse you.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
My wrath.
Mm. I don't think I want to play Barrier until after I Reno. Probably just play Reno into Barrier. He's not going to break this soon. I can just Neff next turn. Uh-oh. It's bad for me. Swipe. Yeah, that's real bad for me. Starfire and Moongate Portal. That's kind of interesting. I want to draw. Oh Jesus! I just want to draw Frost Nova here. No Frost Nova.
We're gonna be rich.
All right. Opponent's Blizzard here. What's in my opponent's hand? Cards that make sense are like, you know, Swipe, Wrath, Living Roots. If I just Barrier Flame to kill the Fandral. Because I want to kill Fandral. If he has more things to go with Fandral, it's pretty disastrous for me.
Interesting.
I could just Blizzard and Inflame Fandral. But then I don't know my Blizzard if he like plays more big things or like makes a wider board. It's probably okay. I still have a Flame Strike and a Chillmaw in my deck. There's Moonglade. Is he Moonglading himself rather than one of his guys? That seems crazy. Change his mind.
What to do?
I'll take some of that. Pay attention, class.
Yeah, and this is kind of why. Give me a Flame Strike. Emperor. If I Moonglade myself, ping this. But Moonglade, like, could Starfire this and ping this.
Perhaps.
And if he has 7 on board, I would die to Swipe Swipe. If I Moonglade myself, it's kind of the same. Getting rid of his yeah, we're gonna Starfire this. Die to Swipe Swipe. Or Swipe Living Roots because of spell power. Yeah, we're dead.
I'm ready to checkmate. Well done.
This deck sucks. I do have Flame Strike in my deck. I discovered a Flame Strike earlier. And that was what we played earlier. So I had an actual Flame Strike remaining in my deck. I think the dragon element of it is like too weak. I think that you need to have like. Where's my just Reno Mage deck? I've got a Reno Mage deck here somewhere. Here we go. Which I took the Yogg out of. This is, I think, just a better version of Reno Mage. Yeah, there's just not enough good dragon stuff. Your dragons are like not that powerful as like end game win conditions. What do I feel like playing? I actually think the Dragon Druid deck is pretty fun. Let's play the Dragon Druid deck. I even have Druid Quest. Where'd it go? Yeah. I don't understand why people want to watch this brawl. This brawl is like the least interesting brawl to like watch or play. It's just theory craft basically. There's no gameplay to it.
For Doomhammer.
I must protect the wild.
Yeah, I'll take a Starfall against Shaman. Is rotating the classic set a good way forward? They're gonna have to do it. Like, I think that the ooh, nice draw. I think the idea of playing maybe it's Shaman. I actually just want a Fairy Dragon, just a cheap guy, rather than a big thing. I'm taking Fairy Dragon. I think that the idea of like, oh look, what do you know? But the idea of like just trying to buff and nerf things periodically, I think it's just a mistake. I think that they'd be much better off in a world where they rotated cards in and out, because A, you don't ruin your legacy format. Like, I feel like one of the big reasons that no one plays Wild is that Wild is just like not interesting, because you can't play like a bunch of the old cards. One of the big incentives to play like, you know, Modern or Legacy and Magic is, you know, you get to play with all your old decks that you can't play anymore in Standard, and you can't do that in Wild because they just buffed and nerfed, basically nerfed all of the key cards from so many of those decks. So it's several things that the sort of refusal to rotate Classic did, and the implications are pretty huge. We'll take a Guardian. We can trade here. protected. Ooh, Fandral. That's nice. I'll just coin Wrath that guy. Kill it and get my card draw. Innervate. Do I want to Innervate? I could like double Innervate out a Twilight Guardian. Protect this guy. That seems bad. I could also just Innervate out Neff in like a turn. He can kill this with this is fine. I don't want him to like double Innervate out this, then have like nothing exciting. Though it does give me Starfall if I, off of Fandral next turn if I do just double Innervate this out and he can't kill it. I think that's actually worth it. He basically now has to polymorph this. Does Blizzard ever contact me about the state of Hearthstone? I think that I mean I've had conversations with people at Blizzard, regarding those sort of things, on a not terribly irregular basis. But I mean I think that there's a number of issues that are like all related. Just play this guy. Attack here. Play this, which can give me a 3-point Starfall potentially following turn. Oh my god, so many Black Guardians. But yeah, they're like some of the issues related to like the diversity in competitive play are based on there being problems with sort of game balance, whatever. But some of them also just have to do with like formats, like the fact that how do I do this? The fact that the regionals or the championships are best of 7 conquest. Like the incentive exists in best of 7 conquest to just build like just play like the lineup of the generically strong decks, and I don't think that the adventure did a ton to shift that. There's new cards and decks, but like there's no real upheaval in terms of what a lot of the sort of generically strong decks are. And there's also not a ton of incentive to really try to make any individual deck like stronger compared to just I'm just gonna kill this guy. Compared to just sort of refining existing decks, because you can only win one game in any match with any given deck, and the if you had some sort of like totally broken out of the world busted deck, at best it can just get banned every round, and that can shift sort of matchup dynamics and whatever. But like it's relatively minor in sort of the grand scheme of things, and there's also just not that many options in the way that Hearthstone sort of exists in order for people to be able to like build unique decks. It's just not really something that the game sort of nice that the game really necessarily pushes toward, because you can't play like any one card with another card. It's just not possible in Hearthstone because of one of us is more fortunate than the other. It is clear. That was gross.
I wield the power.
Oh, goody.
But like, I'm talking about specifically like competitive Hearthstone. Like, you know, I don't think that the state of Hearthstone is like the state of Hearthstone in general. Like, there's like, you know, huge problem. Clearly, people are still like playing the game a lot. You know, but like I do think the game needs from a strategy perspective, from a like development philosophy perspective. I think that there's significant issues in terms of the sort of reluctance to change things, basically, because I think that in order to keep your player base interested for like your highly invested player base interested for long periods of time, you need to have more frequent and more significant changes that happen in Hearthstone. So there's the demands of the heavily invested player base who want more frequent changes, who want, you know, new sets, new cards released more frequently, or who are asking for things like, you know, regular balance changes. I think regular balance changes is actually a mistake. I think that is both something that like undermines a lot of the goals of like collectors and people are building, you know, trying to build decks. Like when you are regularly changing like cards just because they're the cards that are in the best decks, then it's like, okay, well, you know, I don't want to try and build the best deck because all my cards might just get changed. And like you undermine sort of consumer confidence in that sense. Like your people who want to go out of their way to like get cards and build these decks. And you also have people who come back to the game after like even brief absences and will regularly have decks that don't function because cards are different. And people compare it to like League of Legends, where League of Legends has like regular balance changes, or World of Warcraft, where there's lots of balance changes. But those are all kind of invisible balance changes, because most of the time, the sort of balance changes that happen in those games are like, this thing does like a different amount of damage, but the amount of damage that it did was always kind of invisible to you anyway. It was just like a number that appeared on the screen, and it didn't meaningfully change the way that the character played, unless you're playing at the absolute highest level, because like you just did your thing, and you didn't like, you know, count the fact, okay, because my thing does 55 damage, I need to hit him twice, but if it did 50 damage, like I had to hit him 3 times. So, you know, especially when you calculate armor and all sorts of other things that obfuscate that stuff, it's very different for a card game, because everything is very much in your face. Anytime a number changes on anything, it's huge. Like, it very fundamentally changes the way that thing functions. And in many cases, like, you'll come back to a game when there's been changes, and you just, you know, are just like, oh, you know, this just doesn't work anymore. Nothing that I plan to do with this deck works anymore. And that's the sort of thing that can easily cause players to quit. And I think that's a very real issue. Obviously, there's also the possibility that, you know, stagnation causes players to quit. And I think that's very much a concern. But I think that is better solved by having more frequent content updates than from changing existing content. Obviously, that also has its own risks, because you can have people feel like, you know, they are falling behind because they can't keep up with the pace of things because they're a free or like low-paying player or whatever. But, you know, all these things have pros and cons. But anyway, I missed a couple of donations / cheers while I was chatting. Spider said, big Magic fan, before your channel, I want to switch over to Duelist or Hearthstone. What would you recommend? Duelist seems a little more interactive. It depends on the style of game that you like, that you're looking for. Duelist is a highly tactical game. Most of what's going on in Duelist feels like it's about the individual turn-by-turn decisions rather than necessarily like big picture strategy. I feel like Duelist, a lot of games are very, very similar. And in Hearthstone, I feel like there are a lot of games that are similar, but there's more difference, I feel, in between the way that different decks work. Whereas in Duelist, I feel like, you know, everything is focused on like this sort of fight for the board for the most part. Obviously, there are some sort of combo decks and stuff like that too in the game. So if you're like someone who's looking for like the maximum level of like, you know, tactical decision making, I think Duelist is a better choice than Hearthstone. If you're someone who's looking for a game that's like more of like, you know, a recreational pastime that like I feel like probably has more variety in terms of deck building styles, then I think Hearthstone is a better choice for you. DJ Lupo cheered and said, I know a lot of people came back to Hearthstone after WoG nerfs trying to play Combat Druid. Exactly. Like, I think, and I actually, this exact point, not even necessarily like, you know, people coming back and things not working or whatever, but like, say someone loved Handlock, that like they, you know, from the beginning of Hearthstone had played Handlock, or, you know, it's the first deck they fell in love with, And, you know, Blizzard decides that they don't want, and I think correctly decides, that they don't want handlock to be a thing in Standard forever, because there's these cards in the Classic set that enable the handlock strategy, and that being sort of a defining deck in Hearthstone forever, any deck being a defining deck in Hearthstone forever, I think is a problem. In a specific sense. In a general sense, it's like, yes, aggressive decks will be a thing in Hearthstone forever. Control decks should be a thing in Hearthstone forever. But, like, the specifics of them is important. You know, this Molten Giant deck being a deck in Hearthstone forever is, I think, correctly identified as a problem. Their solution was to nerf Molten Giant. And that means that there aren't Molten Giant decks to play at all anymore, basically. You don't play wild Molten Giant decks. They just don't exist. But if you were a player who really liked that deck and that card and how that interaction worked, you know, yeah, it might be correct that Blizzard made it so that you can't play that deck in Standard anymore moving forward, but you also just can't play it in Wild either, because their solution was to nerf the card rather than to, you know, move it out of the eligibility for the Standard format. So that's why, and I've said this since the beginning of the announcement about Standard, I think that it is a much better approach from Blizzard to shift things out of the Classic set, to have a rotating core set that determines the cards that are legal in Standard during a particular year, rather than have buffs and nerfs, you know, basically all nerfs on whatever, you know, cards are perceived to be too powerful, or combinations of cards are perceived to be too powerful for the Standard environment in a particular period. Like, you know, for instance, like Freeze Mage. Freeze Mage, like, it's not a matter that Freeze Mage is, like, too powerful of a deck. But, like, if Freeze Mage is just a deck that exists in Hearthstone forever, that's super boring. Like, it invalidates certain types of strategies that are bad against Freeze Mage, or, like, creates these, like, you know, dynamics that are just always there. And it's like, yes, you want to have combo decks in the game, but you don't want the combo deck to always be Freeze Mage or Miracle Rogue, you know, or some version of Warrior because they have the best card draw in the game for whatever reason. But yeah, I just think that, you know, you not only, like, make that person sad because that person can't play their Molten Giant deck anymore, and they come back and they're like they're kind of off it, but you also make it so that there isn't anything cool about Wild. Like, if what was cool about Wild was that you could go play your favorite decks that you can't play in Standard anymore, I think we'd see more Wild tournaments. Like, I think we'd see more people being interested in playing Wild because they're like, I miss playing Handlock, I'm going to go play Wild. As it stands, I think Wild is kind of a failure. I think that Wild, like, is basically just this extra thing that you know, because they have to let people play with their cards, Wild exists, but it doesn't actually do what it could do if it was a format where people could play, like, their old decks. Fellovar, thank you very much for the sub. Welcome to the Dragon Army. I appreciate it. All right, let's actually jump in and play another game. We'll mess around. But yeah, I've totally meant to record. Here, we're gonna play this. But I think we should be playing this a little less goofy. I don't know that we need the Azoth plan in here, and we probably do want prep. Yeah, we're going to keep the Azoth plan here. We'll cut one Loot Hoarder.
Goody.
Like 2 preps. Do we need a... I actually don't even know that we need a sprint in our deck, given that we have all the stuff that steals. Yeah, I'm just going to play this. But I've been meaning to you know, do, like, videos for my YouTube channel, like, talking about these and other issues. I kind of wanted to give a little more time to, you know, like, Karazhan, for instance. Like, I do think it's really sad that the decks for the HCT event are all, like, basically just slightly modified versions of existing decks. But I think that it's not like a fault of the players that they do that. And frankly, it's not even clear to me that that's like a fault of, like, the set. It's a fault of the structure. The fact that it is an event that that encourages people to just play, you know, generically solid things. And, you know, I actually think best of 7 is almost just a worse format than best of 5, which is part of the problem with the Conquest format, period, or even a problem generally with the way that Hearthstone competitive formats have been built since the beginning, including Last Hero Standing, which is this multi-class, multi-deck thing. Because it's not just like, people talk about like, you know, oh, best of 7 is just better than best of 5 because you play more games. It's like, well, you fundamentally like change the strategy in deck preparation and in lineup building when you add additional games, when you're using this like multi-deck thing. So you dilute the ability for like strategies like targeting a particular deck to matter, and you dilute the ability for any individual deck and the innovations of any individual deck to contribute to a player's chance to win a series. So, like, I think that fundamentally the multi-deck format inherently will cause people to play very similar decks in competitive events because there's so limited a incentive and a payoff to like building a unique and innovative deck compared to, say, Magic, where you play a deck. So, but I mean, I do think that, and you know, I see someone saying that Blizzard encourages tournament decks to be exactly what you see on Ladder. I actually think that it is fairly important that the tournament format encourages, or at least largely mimics the Ladder experience, because you want it to be something that feels relevant to the majority of your audience. You want them to go like, ooh, that deck is cool, I want to play it. And if it's like a really bizarre format, like something like, you know, the tournament that Firebat just did, I think that's cool. But I think that's cool as like a one-of event, and it's not something that's going to be appealing to players like or audiences like if you just keep going with it, because it's not relevant to them, because it doesn't actually, you know, create an experience that they can necessarily relate to on an ongoing basis. And, you know, those sort of things are cool as spectacle, but they're not like, it's not like, oh, you fixed Hearthstone. You know, all you needed to do is remove Yogg-Saron. It's like, that's not what it's about. It's just that people are looking for something that's unique and interesting, and it's not that you know, the specifics necessarily of the way in which it's different. We got a resub from Prince Morganti, almost a full-grown dragon, gonna steal your heart, rar. And then Echo Logico, thank you very much for the sub. Welcome to the Dragon Army. We can't quite kill this. We could backstab Fan and attack both into it. That's pretty horrible. Single deck equals everyone brings face Shaman Dragon Warrior. Well, I don't think that's true. And if that were true, then someone who is like, okay, I have the deck that beats these, they win the tournament. So like, it creates like these layers of like, you know, metagaming that can't exist in quite the same way when you get like this bigger lineup. Like it's I think like BlizzCon last year. I'm actually just gonna play this guy. I think BlizzCon last year was actually pretty great. I actually think I'm going to backstab this too. So if he does attack this, I can just dagger it. I think BlizzCon last year was a great example of like metagaming in Conquest being rewarded because it was best of 5 Conquest. It wasn't, you know, like Oskaka and Tice recognized that you know, a lot of players were going to play like Secret Paladin, Face Hunter, you know, whatever, and built their lineup such that they were particularly strong against aggressive decks. And they were very much rewarded because, you know, that was exactly what happened. And I think that, you know, you can say, oh, you know, they... we're just going to backstab this Fan. Do you want to dagger this guy and trade this? Or just trade this? I could just trade this, attack this, and play Loot Hoarder, and not dagger. How much do I care about having the 3/4? I don't think it matters that much in this matchup. Would rather have a 3/4. I'm gonna do this. What a garbage card. I'm gonna kill this in case he has like power overwhelming, I guess. No, I'm just gonna go face, whatever. So anyway, But I actually think that like best of 7 conquest just makes the format worse. I think that like as you expand, the conquest format to like more Usher of Souls, to like adding more decks, you actually make it a worse format, which is a little weird, but I think that's true. Well, now I want to play Usher Souls, and I think I coin out the Loot Hoarder. You can just attack the Loot Hoarder, but that saves me 5 damage to face.
Get in line. Mind if I roll knee?
We got a donation from Iva Storm. The clarity and depth of your opinions on the game are one of the things I love about your stream. They really set you apart from others. Thank you. Well, I did work as a game designer for quite a long time, so I should hope that I have at least some clue what I'm talking about. But thank you, I appreciate it.
Once upon a time.
Dragons, yes. The end is coming. I don't want the end to come. I would prefer if the end did not come. So we can Skulker and attack this and this. Could also just burgle and face. Eh. Is it better? Huh. I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure if I'd rather have, like, because I pass it over to him with me having 2 things and him having 1. I think I'd actually rather just burgle and face. Well, those stink.
One by one.
Here we go.
Warlock is the worst deck to burgle against. The worst class. It's like, against Handlock at least, like, Thoughtsteal's good, because their deck is full of, like, high impact cards, but so many Warlock class cards are so bad. I missed your cheer, Jabu? Oh, you said I missed the last 10 minutes. You should repeat them for me. There's a VOD for that, Jabu. There's a VOD for that. Alright. Another burgle. T. Martin Gamble Lord. Thank you very much for the sub. Welcome. And then DJ Lupo B. You can get Sack Pack into Reno playing Draxus. I could. It's true. How do I do this? Look at all these awesome cards I've gotten. A Felguard, a Succubus, a Reliquary Seeker. This, by the way, is part of the reason I like having N'Zoth in this deck.
So many possibilities.
I wonder. Can Skulker eviscerate this guy, stab this?
Here we
I
go.
want to just coin out a Felguard. Meh. I don't need the extra mana here. Well, these preps certainly suck because I have all these garbage warlock cards. I can play Succubus. What I want to do is play Succubus, discard one of my bad, discard like Prep or Reliquary Seeker. I discard Shadow Bolt. Oh well.
My shield for Archer.
Here we go.
Why is it cold in here? The bookworm says, "Let reading dragons lie." Rude. Very rude. Huh. Pretty nice. Prep Reliquary Seeker. Oh yeah. I would agree that this guy likely runs Curator. Pia Shadowflame. Oh god. Why didn't you give me a Draxus? I would have appreciated a Draxus. Whatever. I kind of want to surprise my opponent with this.
Buying or selling.
The menagerie is for guests only.
Something good.
Here we go. I can't do this.
Jabba says, someone in the chat asked for a funny flame words. I'm nothing if not a people pleaser. If you're ever cold, go stand in the corner. They're always around 95 degrees. Oh, yeah. Ooh, come on. We're looking for Draxus still.
I have no time for games.
Hmm?
Buying or selling.
Ah, rebuys. It's kind of funny. Meh. I'm so dead. I got like such low impact cards from my all my burgle effects. Any idea when the next round of Eternal Keys will be set out? I do not know. Sorry.
So many possibilities.
God, he stole my blood imp. Guys, cast legendary choices are between Fandral, Zeril, Harrison, Cairn, and Malagos. I would say. I would say probably Cairn or Malagos. Those are the. I don't actually basically can't win this game. I have another Swashbuckler. So if we get the Swashbuckler and it gives us, like, Jiraxis, maybe we can? Maybe I do need a sprint in the deck anyway, but even in this matchup, like, a sprint wouldn't do anything. It's not like I'm getting something that does anything. I just lost because all my Burgles sucked. Medivh with sprint. Prep Medivh sprint. Oh man. Coin, prep, Medivh, sprint. Doesn't work. Actually could work. No, it doesn't work. Yeah, this deck probably should just have Yogg. Ooh, come on, something. Nice. Prep, coin, concede. But yeah, this probably should have Yogg. Maybe you should actually have one sprint. Maybe Yogg is better than N'Zoth in this deck. Like, N'Zoth is kind of sweet, but like, it's only really bringing back Tomb Pillagers, and if you have Tomb Pillagers that die, yeah, I'm gonna play a Yogg instead of a N'Zoth. Because often, like, your N'Zoth just brings back a board that isn't even that good. In which case, do I even want to play Sylvanas? Do I just play like Ethereal Petal at the top of my curve and play like a sprint? I think we'll try this. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, and we'll keep battling. Oh, I should probably change my title, huh? Mr. Nitlia's masterpiece. How long is a Chinese name? And then Teebs said, "Works a lot of janky cards. Play against better your opponent next time." And then Max Burns said, "I've sent you a list of interesting facts about wombats. We consider adding a wombat facts command." I don't actually make those commands, man. You'd have to talk to the mods. But anyway, I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. Alright, let's try this deck. Boop. 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 Oh god, Wombat. Oh god, no! Not another rogue! You're gonna ruin my life. I should probably have an Edwin in this deck, huh? Just because it's powerful. My peddler will do nothing.
The pleasure is mine.
Now that I have 2 preps in my deck, I should definitely have an Edwin.
You want to buy a funnel cake?
You want to buy a funnel cake?
This guy's toast.
Rude. Ooh. That's kind of funny. I'll play my real raptor. It's another SI?
This guy's
Wow. It's kind of messed up, man.
Here we go. Need something unusual.
Need something unusual.
So many options.
I have defeated the Glug stream. How does a train eat? It goes choo choo. Ah, I see what you did there. Alright.
Here we go.
You want to buy a funnel cake?
I kind of to prep eviscerate this guy, but I'm gonna hold off. I'm fine with him just killing this, I think. So you easily have, like, you know, gadget into backstab. If I were to just, like, prep eviscerate this. I guess you'd have to have prep conceal too, to not. Maybe I should have killed it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess we can just eviscerate this guy. Ooh. I thought he was attacking my guy. I was like, what's going on? Ooh, yes. Alright. It's not bad. Welcome, but I got Utirian. Legend you had the most? Eh. Any legendary you had, you know, any copies of it, the same thing, so. Whoa, cartoon.
Incredible.
Alright. I was anticipating a cartoon deck over there. That kind of changes things. Gotta be a little more aggressive now.
Here we go.
Look at this fork. Get forked, man. Get forked.
So many options. So many options.
So many options. Blade of Cthulhu. Alright. You can't Skulker and Blood Mage Fan. Can Skulker Fan attack it? I don't think I want to attack it, though. I think I Skulker and then attack this in. That's kind of funny. Ooh. We got a cheer from Riot James. Did you see the Skype message dropped you last night? I say last night was 1 a.m. for me. I think I may have seen it. Let me look. No, well, I won. Here, let me look at it. Right, I will get back to you. Don't worry. I see the message now. I get a lot of Skype messages. I'll get back to you on that one, James. Don't you worry. We won the Can't Burgle Anything Sweet match. Oh, no! Another Warlock. We're just gonna steal all lame cards. Alright.
The pleasure is mine. The light protects me.
We have a Skulker, which is great in this matchup. A Burgle, which is not. Uh-oh. This is really bad because it makes like Soulfire a free roll. Double Burgle. I need to find something. I think my dagger is not super valuable.
Buying or selling.
Oh, goody.
I'll get to that in a moment. Skulker's not even that good right here. I'm just gonna coin out Pillager.
So many.
Thank you.
He at least like has to use, you know, a abusive or PO to kill it. I'll get the coin, be able to potentially coin Skulker. I get a donation from I Love Purify. Said, yo man, stupid magic question. Way to shuffle your deck in order to get mana screwed less than usual without cheating. People say you shuffle like 50 times less possible. I mean, no. It's just, you know, it's just math. You're just shuffling and you're randomizing or you're not. So anything that causes your deck to be anything but random is cheating. Well, my Skulker actually sucks here. I can Shadow Strike this guy. I'm gonna coin out Dagger so I can Skulker next turn and actually punch this and kill it. Don't you dare play another Defender of Argus.
So many possibilities.
My shield for Argus.
Come on. Okay, I'm dead. Not gonna be able to beat that. Drawing all my burgles. Maybe I should actually be keeping a prep against like just Warlock in general, even if I don't have like Fan or something, just because it's end up with like, you know, my hand like totally choked there. It's way too many cards that I can't actually play, and prep's obviously one of the best things at enabling you to do that. Like if I was able to say, you know, prep, Shadow Strike, something else, but obviously it would have been a much better turn, and I could have possibly actually done something. Malfurion.
Watch your back.
We'll keep Tomb Pillager.
pleasure is mine.
The pleasure is mine. Innervate. Innervate. Oh. Adorable. Oh, that's actually... Wait, what? Just double innervated, then nourished for mana. What in the world? Okay. What, do you have just like a nourish for cards next? He must have a nourish for cards next. Yeah. It's like the only thing that makes any sense. It's a little bit ahead. Little bit ahead. Hey, Zura Janai, thank you very much for the